Okay, well, it's been a long time since I've been on this stage, but I'm happy to be back. And I'll just say it is real early for singing, but we'll see what I got. So most of my repertoire is from Ireland, England, and Scotland. And I have had the great good fortune to have two mentors in singing. One, the great late Frank Hart, who was a Dublin singer and also a renowned collector of Irish songs, and Norman Kennedy, who taught me to weave, but is also a great mentor for, many things, live, but also music. So I'm going to start with a song, an Irish song that I learned from Frank Hart called False, False Have You Been? And part of what I like about this song is there's a sort of set of riddles, things you can't do, but that serve as a metaphor. False, false have you been unto me, my love. How often you've changed your mind, and since you've laid your love on some other fair young maid, I'm afraid that you're no longer mine. Come and sit down beside me on the grass, he said. Come sit on the grass so green, for it's just 3/4 of a year or more since together we have been. No, I'll not sit by you on the grass, she said, not now nor at any other time, for I hear you're in love with a false connaught maid, and your heart's no longer mine. For I climbed into a tree that was too high for me, seeking fruit where there wasn't any growing, and I was lifting warm water from beneath cold clay, and against the tide I was rowing. But I'll climb up that tall, tall tree, and I'll rob the wild bird's nest, and I'll come straight down without any fear to the arms that love me the best. I tried to do all my hawking and spitting before I got here, but just, yeah, okay. I really enjoyed the presentation yesterday afternoon of the class that's been doing folklore research, investigating all of Dame Campbell. It was really inspiring, and they finished up the program with her Barbara Allen, and I thought, oh, maybe I should sing Barbara Allen tomorrow. And I will, but not yet. We need at least 2 songs before you can have a ballad. Okay. So I'll give you a weaving song, and it has a bit of a chorus, although it's an awkward chorus, but I have great faith in your ability to pick it up anyway, and some of you know it already, or have heard it before. So it's a song called Poverty, Poverty Knock. It comes out of the factories, and it's part of a tradition of songs made by people who worked in abysmal situations but made funny songs about it, because if you can't laugh, then you'll be crying all the time. So yeah, it's as good a way to go as any. And the chorus is poverty, poverty, knock, and the knocking is the sound of the fly shuttle as it hits the box to reset the spring to get ready to go again. And this comes from before powered factories. So the earliest part of industrial organization was bringing workers together under one roof, but the workers provided all of the energy. So these were fly shuttle looms. Fly shuttle loom is late 1780s, maybe? Something like that. Fly shuttle loom's been around for a long time. And the the weaver pulls a handle in the middle, pulling whichever way the shuttle's going, and they pull, and the shuttle flies across and bang, hits the box and resets the spring. So the knocking is the part of this, and the chorus is, when I hear my shuttle, I know I can guttle. So poverty, poverty, knock. I know I can fill my gut. I'll be able to eat today. I'll be able to afford to eat. And it also mentions, I should have woven 3 strings. So before we had measuring tapes, we had strings. I'm pretty sure it was the king's arm that was the length of the yard or cubit or whatever it was. So a string with knots in it was given to each weaver to measure their yards. I don't know if there's anything else you'd need to know, but we'll just dive in. So I'll sing you the chorus first. Poverty, poverty, knock. Me loom it is saying all day. Poverty, poverty, knock. Gaffer's too stingy to pay. Poverty, poverty, knock. Keeping one eye on the clock. Still I know I can guttle when I hear me shuttle go. Poverty, poverty, knock. And you have that already, right? Yeah, okay. Poverty, poverty, knock. That will do, and the rest of it you can fill in. And it can be phonetic, too. It just, yeah, we'll just do it the best we can. Okay. Off every morning at 5, I wonder how we stay alive. Tired and yawning all in the dark morning, it's back to the dirty old drive. Oh, but we're going to be late. Gaffer has stood at the gate. We're out of pocket, our wages he'll dock it. We'll have to find room on the slate. Poverty, poverty, knock. Me loom it is saying all day. Poverty, poverty, knock. Gaffer's too stingy to pay. Poverty, poverty, knock. Keeping one eye on the clock. Still I know I can guttle when I hear my shuttle go. Poverty, poverty, knock. And when our wages he brings, we often is short of a string. Why we are fraction with Gaffer for snatching, we know to his brassy will cling. We've got to weather our yarn by dipping it into the tarn. It's wet and soggy, it makes us feel groggy. There's mice in that dirty old barn. Poverty, poverty, knock. Me loom it is saying all day. Poverty, poverty, knock. Gaffer's too stingy to pay. Poverty, poverty, knock. Keeping one eye on the clock. Still I know I can guttle when I hear me shuttle go. Poverty, poverty, knock. Oh dear, how my poor head aches. I should have woven 3 strings. Threads they are breaking and my heart is aching. Oh God, how I wish I had wings. Sometimes a shuttle flies out, gives a poor woman a clout. There she lies bleeding, there's nobody heeding. Now who's gonna carry her out? Poverty, poverty, knock. Me loom it is saying all day. Poverty, poverty, knock. Gaffer's too stingy to pay. Poverty, poverty, knock. Keeping one eye on the clock. Still I know I can guttle when I hear me shuttle go. Poverty, poverty, knock. Turner should see to me loom, but he'd rather sit on his bum. He's much too busy a-courtin' our Lizzie. I can't get the fella to come. Lizzie, she's too easy led. I think that she takes him to bed. Look at her pinny, she used to be skinny. I think that it's time they were wed. Poverty, poverty, knock. Me loom it is saying all day. Poverty, poverty, knock. Gaffer's too stingy to pay. Poverty, poverty, knock. Keeping one eye on the clock. Still I know I can guttle when I hear me shuttle go. Poverty, poverty, knock. Still I know I can guttle when I hear me shuttle go. Poverty, poverty, knock. Thank you. Very good. It's sort of a chorus song, but sort of, what a chorus. All right, so I'm going to move on to Barbara Allen. We might even sneak 2 ballads in this morning. We'll see. I learned this version of Barbara Allen from an Irish singer named Johnny Moynihan, who played with the band Dadannan in the, 70s and 80s. And many years later, 15 or 20 years after I started singing it, I heard a recording of Sarah Macomb, who's Tommy Macomb's mother, Tommy Macomb of the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Macomb. I think that's how they were built. And I knew immediately that Johnny Moynihan had learned this song from her. She sings it very slowly. She's just in no hurry at all, a very steady, slow pace. But everything else about it was the version that he learned. And my other best story about this song is that I had the opportunity to perform it at Gaston Hall at Georgetown University, which is a little bigger than this room, also has lovely acoustics, and there's a bell tower in that particular building. And when I got to the verse about the death bell ringing, the bell started ringing in the bell tower, but wait, it was in the same key. It still kind of gives me the shivers. So, here we go. No, one more drink. It came a late in the year, the green fields they were fallen, when young Johnny rose from his own country, fell in love with Barbara Allen. Get up, her mother says, get up and go and see him. Mother dear, do you not mind the time that you told me how to shun him? Get up, her father says, get up and go and see him. Father dear, do you not mind the time that you told me how to slight him? Slowly, slowly she's got up, and slowly she's put on her. Slowly she went to his bedside, and slowly looked on him. You're lying low, young man, she says, and almost nearer dying. One word from you would bring me to, if your name be Barbara Allen. One word from me you never shall have, nor any young man breathin', for the better of me you never shall be, though your heart's blood was a spillin'. Look up to my bed's head, it's there you'll see them hangin', my gold watch and my gold chain, I bestow them to you, Allen. Look down to my bed's foot, it's there you'll see them lyin', bloody sheets and bloody shirts, I sweat them for you, Allen. As she was going out to her mother's house, she heard the death bell ringing, and every toll that the death bell did make, it was woe be to you, Allen. As she was going out to her father's house, she met the funeral comin'. Lay down that wearisome corpse, till I get lookin' on She's lifted the lid from off of the corpse and bursted out with laughing, and all his weary friends around cried, hard-hearted Barbara Allen. As she was going into her mother's house, make my bed long and narrow, for the death bell did ring for my true love today. It will ring for me tomorrow. Out of one grave there grew a red rose, and out of the other a briar, and they both twisted into a true lover's knot, and there remained forever. Barbara Allen. Okay, maybe something a bit lighter. Yes. Okay, this is an Irish song. Maybe they'll all be Irish today. I'm not sure. Wait, there's nothing here. Okay, never mind. We'll see if I remember this. COVID has not been kind to my memory, but I've sung this song a lot. Okay, this is an Irish song. It was sung by a man named Eddie Butcher with his wife. They sang it together in unison, which is pretty common in Ireland with the older singers. If more than one singer sang, it was always in unison. The abundance of harmony singing in English and Irish and Scottish folk music is relatively new. Although I have to mention, Norman Kennedy often says that for his people, the old songs are from before Napoleon and the new songs from after. So the relative newness is quite relative. Okay, so it's called Don't Come Again, and it's a courting song. And like many courting songs, it has advice, this time for the young man. The first time that I saw me love, it was at a wake. I looked at her, I gazed at her, I thought me heart would break. But she looked on me with scorn and disdain, and the bonny wee lassie's answer was to no, come again, was to no, come again. And the bonny wee lassie's answer was to no, come again. The next time that I saw me love, it was at a ball. I looked at her, I gazed at her, so far above them all. But she looked on me with scorn and disdain, and the bonny wee lassie's answer was to no, come again, was to no, come again. And the bonny wee lassie's answer was to no, come again. It being 6 months after, a little hour ago, when Cupid shot his arrow and he's wounded my true love. He's wounded her severely and caused her to complain, and she's wrote to me a letter saying you might come again, saying you might come again. And she's wrote to me a letter saying you might come again. I wrote her back an answer, all for to let her know, while life was in me body, it's there I wouldna go. While life was in me body, and while it does remain, I mind the girl who said don't come again, who said don't come again. I mind the girl who said don't come again. Come all you pretty fair maids, a warning take by me, and never slight a young man, whoever he may be. For if you do, you're sure to rue and cause you to complain, and you'll rue the day that you said don't come again. You said don't come again. You will rue the day that you said don't come again. Okay, I don't think we'll do another ballad. So that advice was for the young ladies. You probably figured that This is a song I'm really fond of, and it's called the Maherafelt Mayfair. Maherafelt is a little town in the sort of central western Ireland. One of the bigger towns near it is a town called Tuam, T-U-A-M. And in this tradition, there are lots of songs that are sung from either a woman's or a man's perspective, but they were sung by singers of either gender. And the first time I heard this song sung, it was by a very burly, bearded, guy in his 20s. And he killed it. He did a wonderful job, and it really caught my eye. So you can just hold that in your imagination while I'm telling you this girl's story. And this is the kind of song that I get really excited about because it's probably, I don't know, it might only be 100 years old, right? But 150, somewhere in that department. But the attitude of the daughter and her parents, all of these little details of human life are so familiar to us. And it's one of those little things that brings history to life, makes you feel like you could understand, or at least begin to understand people from another time. Let's see if I have the range for this. I am a nice, sweet, bouncing girl, my age is scarce 16. And when I'm dressed all in my best, sure I look like any queen. And with maidens gay who are on their way and about to sell their wares, on the 1st of May I made my way to the Maherafelt Mayfair. And I'm going to go down just a little. This is very traditional, by the way. My mother cautioned me going out to not stay long in town. For if you do, your father and I on you will frown. Be sure to shun bad company, and of young men beware. Though nice you be, don't make too free at the Maherafelt Mayfair. Says I, dear mother, do not fret, and set your mind at rest. For I must leave this house one day, as the wild swan leaves the nest. I dressed me in my new blue frock, and I combed my bonny brown hair. There'll be many's the boy from Tuam to Moy at the Maherafelt Mayfair. I bade them both good morning and hoisted up my sail, in hopes that fate would favor me with a smooth and pleasant gale. But oh, to my misfortune, when I arrived there, there were maidens 10 for every man at the Maherafelt Mayfair. I stayed around till evening, still hoping to make a sail, and let the bad come to the worst, sure my courage ne'er did fail. But as night came on, all hope was gone, and home I did repair. At a wake or a dance, I'll take my chance and forget the hiring fare. Okay, I want to finish up with what's surely my favorite song. I learned this one from Norman Kennedy, so this one does come from Scotland. It's just called the Night Visiting Song, which is also a category of songs, a type of song. Some night visiting songs are ghost stories, where the beloved appears but doesn't look the same, and there's conversation about your skin is so white, you're everything else. But this particular song, everyone is alive and well, and there will be a happy ending, I promise. The time has come, I can no longer tarry. This morning's tempest I must surely brave, to cross the moors and high towering mountains, until I'm in the arms of the one I love. And when he came to his true love's dwelling, he's knelt down gently upon a stone. He's whispered softly into the window, does my own true love lie there alone? She's lifted her head off her down white pillow. She's lifted the blankets from off her breast. She's raised herself up onto an elbow. Who's that disturbing me from my night's rest? 'Tis I, 'tis I, 'tis I, your own true lover. Oh, open the door, love, and let me in, for I am wet, love, and also wearied, for I am wet, love, unto the skin. She's raised herself up with the greatest of pleasure. She's raised herself up and she's let him in. And all night long they've rolled in each other's arms, until the long night was at an end. And when the long night was past and over, and when the small cocks began to crow, he shook her hand, they've kissed and parted. He saddled and mounted, and away did go. Thank you all very much.